How's it going, everybody? Shawn Pila here, and welcome back to the Farmstead. The Farmstead is proudly presented by the Ulupono initiative, committed to a sustainable and resilient Hawaii. Well, we did it, folks. We've successfully moved Humphrey and Aila and some beautiful sheep into their new home. And we can't tell you how excited we are to have some new life up here at the farm. Now, before we start planting some crops, we're gonna clear some space and turn some weeds and rubbish trees into usable green waste. The Farmstead episode 6, the green waste. In this episode, my brother Bronson will be showing us the ropes and teaching us how to cut and chip some massive gunpowder trees. Now, I've had hundreds of hours trimming trees and clearing brush for landscaping gigs, but these guys are next level. So what are you waiting for? Let's check it out.
How's it going? My name is Bronson Pila. I'm the owner and operator of Sky High Tree Company. We are tree specialists, specialize in tree removals, landscaping, pruning, the whole works. And we've been operating for about 7 years here on the Big Island.
All right, brother Bronze, thank you guys so much for being here today. Much appreciated. Super stoked on all your success and all the hard work you guys have put in to get to where you are today. So right on, bro. Mahalo.
Thank you.
And first question, why the orange shirts?
Well, it's funny you ask. It's because usually the ladies, they love the high visibility shirts. Shows that we work hard. Not really, it's for safety. We're usually out in the forest. Of course, a lot of greens, a lot of browns. We want to stand out to where we can make, a presence that, oh, someone's there, someone's under the tree.
Totally,
so
totally.
It's definitely safety. Yeah.
Okay, so high visibility and safety. Awesome. I guess second question, what's your favorite number?
It's 93.
93. Thought so. And let's talk a little bit about safety. What are some of the safety equipment you guys might be using for jobs like this?
Well, the first thing is helmet. Everyone on site needs to have a hard hat. Second is eyewear. There's a lot of sawdust, bushes, all kind of things, shrapnel flying. You want to make sure that you protect your eyes as well. We mentioned the orange shirts, pants, very good, and covered toe shoes, of course.
Totally.
But we do what we can to kind of protect ourselves from the fire ants, because the fire ants are crazy out here. So the hoods are another thing.
Massive fire ant problem.
Yeah.
Not fun. And also, one thing I want to mention is definitely having a spotter or somebody assisting you today, or in any job, even if they're not physically helping, just I guess somebody there to watch, and in case anything goes wrong, they can just be there to help. And who do we have assisting you today?
So today we have Simba here.
Brother Simba. We'll bring him in just a sec. All right. And I guess some tools. Let's go over some of the tools for a backyard project.
All right, so today we're cutting trees. So the most important tool is going to be our chainsaws. We have different size saws for different size wood in diameter.
Yep.
So of course the bigger saws for the bigger trees, bigger logs, bigger wood. And then the smaller saws for more smaller casual branches. This is our #1 tool. Pretty much everyone on the crew has one. It's a top handle. Basically, it's a really light saw, easy to operate, fairly safe.
And that's what you guys have up in the trees as well?
And as well in the trees, yeah.
Nice. And then I guess I noticed you guys have these earth-friendly, biodegradable bar and chain oil. super stoked on that. You know, we
Yep.
try to do as much as we can to, you know, do our part and be green. And I guess some hand tools.
Yep, so we got basic, this is a pole saw. If something's out of reach, we can basically extend it to your size. So this usually we'll be using from the ground, say something over a house that we can't necessarily climb. We're just gonna nip it with the pole saw. Machetes, regular hand saws, and got a lot of stuff. A lot of little nicks and knacks.
Totally, yeah.
But the cutting tools are the most important.
Definitely accumulated some quite the equipment here. And we've got a chipper today, which is very handy. We're gonna be taking a lot of the branches and medium-sized logs, turning it into wood chips, and then eventually using that as mulch and breaking it down, maybe even adding it around our garden beds, walkways, and wherever we feel necessary. So, dude, right on for coming, super stoked. We're gonna go assess the situation. I think first step would be to kind of check it out and see what we got going on today.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. All right, so I guess what are we getting in today? What's the first steps?
All right, so we're cutting down a few trees. We are mulching everything and turning it into mulch. So we have the chipper staged up here. The trees are down here. Unfortunately, we can't drive because it's very soft. So we're gonna be bringing the material up to the chipper. We're gonna check these trees out and see the best way we can take them down safely and efficiently.
Yep.
So these are one of the trees here, right?
Yeah, so we're doing this big one here, the one below, and then if we have time, maybe the third big one. But I guess, do you think you guys need to climb these, or these are kind of angled the right way?
Yeah, so we can take a look. It's always good. Anytime you're cutting a tree, you really want to walk around the tree 360 degrees, because from one angle, it can seem like it's leaning this way. You walk to the back side, now it looks like it's going the opposite way. So to get a best perspective, you have to walk around the tree. And I like to say you got to touch the tree, touch each tree, you know? So luckily, we have a lot of working room here, a lot of workspace to kind of just drop big things if we need to, or drop the whole tree if you want to. So
I guess tree angle, obstacles, you know, power lines, you know, making sure there's no houses or other fruit trees in the way. I think those things all, you know, take into play. And it looks like we have a big open area to drop all these. So hopefully I think we can just take these whole things down, this whole tree down without having to do any climbing.
So like you said, luckily there's not too much surrounding factors. The tree is leading right into the opening, so that should work perfect. However, there's a few things that need to get cut before we get to this major tree. These vivies, did you want to save it, or?
These can go.
Okay.
These can go. I do see another tree kind of coming out.
Yeah. So we'll cut that to give us more work room. Always good to have a nice clear space in case you need to run. And yeah, like you said, there is a little shooter here that's very funky. The stalk is on the right side of the tree, but the whole canopy goes to the left. So in order to drop that safely, we're gonna have to try to maneuver that the best we can. So we definitely need to cut these. So Simba's usually our prep guy. He comes in, preps the tree, and then we'll go ahead and take these down.
So prep meaning cutting away all the external limbs, stuff that's gonna get in the way, maybe clearing some space. He mentioned in case you have to run, you wanna make sure there's a nice open space in case you do need to get out of the way. And sometimes the assist is having to tie some ropes and pulling it in the right direction, I guess. And sweet, yeah. And as far as projects, would this be considered like a big job, a little job, something easy, something difficult?
Well, I mean, with the right equipment, you know, it's a fairly easy job, but I wouldn't really recommend kind of just anybody grabbing a saw and being, oh, I'm just gonna cut this tree down.
Yeah,
there is a science behind it. You want to know all the safety measures, and the physics behind cutting a tree down.
Totally.
So we can run through that as well. But yeah.
Looking pretty good. Sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess step one is assessing the situation, figuring out the obstacles, figuring out the best game plan, and yeah, let's go get all the tools together and start doing some work. So normally you'd want to wear long sleeves. You know, there's fire ants, there's the guinea grass and stuff, and I didn't have a long sleeve today, but I think these guys are going to be doing most of the hard work, and I'm kind of just going to be assisting, you know, cutting up the small branches, helping move the branches into the chipper, and trying not to get injured or get in the way. But sweet, stoked to finally get these trees done and down, because this whole section is going to be the citrus orchard, and I think it's best to cut all the trees first before we start planting stuff. That way there's less obstacles and just more wiggle room. I guess we got some of the obstacles out of the way, and next step is getting the big saw and doing a face cut.
So basically, what a face cut is, it's like a pie shape notch you cut out of the tree, and that's usually on the belly side of where the tree is gonna fall. So
okay.
We're going this way, so we're gonna cut the face cut here. This on the back side is the back cut. So just to get a perspective, face cut where you're facing the back is going to be basically your back.
Okay, copy that.
So what a face cut does, basically, like I said, you cut it out a notch, and as the tree falls, you're giving the tree room for it to actually move. So that pie shape is now going to close, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
So you're giving the tree some room to move, basically, as it comes down.
Sick.
So we'll get the face cut in our fellow direction, and then we'll go ahead and back cut it. We'll buck it up and throw it in the chipper.
Sweet, sounds good.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess he's cutting a wedge out of the front of the tree, kind of gives it the right angle and also gives it some space to fall. So getting a big saw for the big tree, and see how it goes. What do you think?
Whole tree, just this. It's crazy.
And this is
absolutely
gold,
crazy.
ants.
Look at that.
Fucking,
Wow.
this shit is like...
All right, so here we are, you know, we assessed the situation, we took down the big trees, we bucked it up into different sizes. What we did here was we created these wood chips, and this can be used, you know, to create little pathways in between your garden beds. Usually you wanna lay down some cardboard, throw some wood chips on top, and it's really good to separate the garden beds. You can use it for landscaping, or you can break it down to mulch and you know, use this around your fruit trees. And mulch is really good for, you know, moisture retention. It's a weed suppressant. It also adds some nutrients into your soil, you know, a soil amendment. And really good stuff. I was a little concerned about the seeds, you know, in here, and the fire ants and all that stuff, but you were saying...
Yeah, so it's best when you get your fresh mulch, you really don't want to use it if you want it for soil, you want to let it cook, right? And basically there's a lot of moisture in there that's in the wood, in the leaves, With the moisture being in there and the weather, got the rain as well, and then the hot sun gets to really high temperatures and basically will kill anything living in there, kill all the seeds, kill all the insects, flush anything out, or, you know, basically best way to go about it.
Sweet, and then you can you know, you can turn it and mix it up a little here and there, and yeah, let it sit for a few months and should be good to go. But so yeah, the main thing we wanted to go over was, you know, taking these invasive species and these rubbish trees like the gunpowder, the African tulip, the albigia, the vivy, you know, taking these rubbish trees, turning it into usable materials around the property. And one thing I really wanted to point out was, you know, try not to throw your green waste or your food scraps in your trash. You know, create a compost bin with your green waste. Try to take it to the landfill. You know, there's an excellent green waste facility at the East Hawaii Organics facility. You know, they've got a mulch program and they offer it to the community. I think it's every first Saturday of the month, and this stuff goes really quickly, so try to get there early. But yeah, I just wanted to mention not to throw the stuff in the trash, not to throw your green waste in the streams or the rivers. You know, try to make a little green waste pile at home, or these chippers, right? You can rent these at like Home Depot or Sunbelt. There's also smaller versions of this, more for the consumer. So if your local hardware store, you can find this stuff. And where can we find you guys? Sky High.
You can find us at skyhightrees.com, also on Sky High Instagram, and Sky High Tree Company on Instagram.
Heck yeah. So super stoked. Bronson, Simba, you know, thank you guys for coming out. You know, mulch appreciated. You know, definitely can't handle this job on my own. I don't have the right tools for it, but as a backyard gardener or a farmer, you know, you can get yourself a chainsaw, you can rent this stuff here, and yeah, stoked to get the boys up here and stoked to get some mulch going. Right on, guys, right on, Brother Bronson. You. All right, mahalo Brother Bronson Simba for coming up to the farmstead and putting in some work. You know, I definitely didn't have the right tools, and I definitely couldn't have done the job myself. Again, we are trying to take rubbish trees and green waste like guinea grass and banana leaves and turning it into usable products. Please stay tuned for the next episode as we finally dive into the good stuff and start prepping the garden beds. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Ahui ho!